Hey guys, it's Will. So we recently covered super microcomputer along with Rocket Lab, and I wanted to jump in to show you guys what these are doing. And not only Rocket Lab, excuse me, I was actually talking about AMD. I said Rocket Lab because AMD was a company that recently partnered with StarLink. So I was thinking aerospace and things like that. So if that was confusing, sorry. Now, this stock is super microcomputer here. It sold off tremendously, and we had done an analysis on the stock late last week, and we said, hey, we're at this key level right here where it dropped after earnings. So we saw it really sell off around earnings time. And not only that, now we were at this point where if it broke above this previous resistance and support that you can clearly see if I drop it down to what would be a 1 year, there was a previous resistance there, previous resistance, and previous support here. And we were talking about how there was some negative news that wasn't quite accurate. They're providing the infrastructure for the servers for xAI, which is associated with Elon and Tesla and things like that. And we're saying, hey, this looks pretty bullish. NVIDIA silenced the rumors that Supermicrocomputer wasn't doing well by acknowledging them as a company that they were working with them quite well in their earnings call. So NVIDIA acknowledged Supermicrocomputer. And so we just talked about this and we said, hey, if it breaks above this level, we could see a breakout. And guess what? It did that. We saw it push up, retest, and broke above to what is now $42 a share. We mentioned that if it did break above, we could see $50 a share to $65 a share. So again, right here, this previous resistance at $50 a share, you guys could see quite clearly. If it breaks above that, which is a previous resistance and a previous support, that next level to break above would be 65 right in here, 60, 65. And then, of course, we got another level at $75 with these previous supports. So technicals looking great, fundamentals looking great, looking like a breakout, and it's been quite interesting to watch this accumulate. I had a small amount of shares in my Schwab account, but did quite well. It's up 20 or 30% on the day today. Our portfolio is up 2% on the day. And for those of you guys who would like to watch me trade live every morning at market open, do check out Stockmate. It's that second link down below. Now, on top of that, with Super Micro Computer, this is one of the assets in the stock market, one of the companies that I believe is undervalued. Now, their PE ratio is a little high, okay? It's just a tiny bit higher than NVIDIA, meaning it's possible that the PE is suggesting they're a little overvalued. But one thing that you might want to consider, it's still like 3 times less than Tesla, okay? But Tesla is going to continue to go up. Why? Because oftentimes the PE ratio doesn't fully determine the stock's price. It's going to be based on the future growth projections and what investors might expect and what the market might expect. And so with AMD, they're up about 3% today. We covered AMD this past week. Why? Because AMD partnered with StarLink. So they're going to be providing for StarLink. They provide for Tesla. They're going to be providing for StarLink. And what that means is we could see similar breakouts to what we saw with T-Mobile. As soon, and this is a little more speculative, right? But hey, back in 2021, it was right here when T-Mobile had reached an all-time high. It was at $150 a share. It dropped down to what was $100 a share. And it was late 2021, right around here, September, October, where they announced a partnership with StarLink, and T-Mobile announced that they would be able to be exclusively one of the providers that could use StarLink for their customers and provide satellite basically coverage across the entire world without the constraints of 5G towers or towers of any sorts, but that anyone, anywhere would be able to have service. Now, their stock since then has gone absolutely parabolic. 130% increase their stock. Now, they were at $100 a share, they're at $245. What I'm saying is not that, like, have you ever seen a pattern and you're like, this is going to be the exact same, and then you look at it and it's like not the exact same, and you're like, oh, well, I thought it was going to be like that, but I guess I was wrong. That could be the case. And I've done that before on certain stocks, but this is a similar pattern as what we saw at T-Mobile. However, there's more things working in its favor. On the technical side, it has this consistent uptrend that we've seen that it hasn't broken pattern in. And it just validated today up 3%, right? You can see a clear uptrend. And they just partnered last week with StarLink, and they're down from their all-time high of $226. Okay. Now, have you ever said, okay, Will, that's great, but they're low. Who knows? They could drop lower. They could break pattern. Okay, I get that. It could happen. And I'm not saying it won't happen. I was just saying that on kind of this longer term outlook, the MACD is overextended, the RSI is overextended. It kind of looks similar to how it looked back here in April when everything was showing a little oversold and they pushed up. But aside from their glass substrate they recently patented, which is supposed to apparently replace some of the silicon. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that substrate, glass substrate for building their semiconductors and their chips, right? That is something they recently patented, and you have other companies trying to follow suit as well. You saw Samsung doing the same, trying to follow suit. So they're innovating. They're moving towards data centers and AI, and they recently partnered with StarLink. And from their all-time high that we saw earlier this year, they're down 40%. And so if they're down 40% from their all-time high, the risk, seeing them at that previous support or that ascending support that we mapped out, it's pretty clear that we could potentially see a breakout here. And that's why I'm going to be taking advantage of this. I'm going to be investing. It's a 72% potential increase, guys, on AMD. A 72% potential increase if they keep their pattern. Now, if they are more bearish, of course, we could see, oh, well, look at that pattern. They have a ton to drop before they continue up, and it could happen. But I have to make you guys aware what happened last time when a company partnered with StarLink and how people are looking for alternatives to NVIDIA. So anyway, wow. Wow. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to watch me trade live at Market Open, get a great discount, the best deal ever for Cyber Monday and Black Friday in the second link down below for StockMate. If you want to surround yourself with other traders and investors all investing in tech and AI, that's the place. It's that second link down below again. And if I earned your thumbs up, hit that like button to consider subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.